Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome over here to the Dascar Martini Endurance Series season number 4 2017 here on Ziggo Sports. We are here back again finally after a 2-week break in which I went on vacation to Sicily, Italy. I'm not sure if I actually said where I was going to before I left, but I actually don't even know if I said was going to go away, but anyway, we are back again now. Finally, I had a great 2 weeks over there in Sicily, Italy. It was I keep on saying Sicily, Italy, but it was great. Very warm. I mean, like seriously, we had no rain. We had one cloudy day, and we had, I think, pretty much temperatures over day of not below 30 degrees Celsius and at night not below 20 degrees Celsius, maybe not even below 25 degrees Celsius. It was very, very warm, so had a great time. Maybe I'm going to make some kind of vlog-ish thingy sometime later in which I will show some pictures and videos and tell you some stories of things we've been through over there, but that will all come later. The future of my YouTube channel and stuff, that what I'm going to do, that I will tell that maybe later in the video. So first off, we gotta say that today we are at a very special racetrack. We have, first off, maybe even the most strange thing, we have only 21 cars in the field for this race, and we are going to have a race 2 with also 21 cars sometime later, very shortly after this race. We are here at a crazy racetrack. If you remember the Nordschleife, what I always say about that, it's the most dangerous racetrack in NR 2003 in the world as well. It's the most crazy racetrack and the longest track. Well, except for the longest thing, those other things are all gonna be beaten by this track. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Isle of Man, the racetrack which has motor racing on the English roads for like every year, and it's so dangerous. Every year 2 drivers approximately pass away at this racetrack in real life. So these guys are up for a challenge. It will be one very interesting race. I have no clue what's going to happen. Just did a few test races before this, and well, we still had to adjust some things because, well, there was one test race in which only 2 drivers made it to the finish. I have to sneeze. Sorry. But well, I made some more adjustments, and hopefully we're not going to face that. So, however, don't expect too many cars to finish after this race. It could be possible that it's still going to be a pretty boring race. It could be possible that it's going to be a very exciting race. So, I don't know. And if it's going to be a boring race, I apologize for now. So, as said, 2 races we're going to have. I will do this introduction, what will come next, and what I've done before. I will only do it once, but race 2 will be in a separate video. So it will not be at the end of this video. This video will merely be race number 1 over at the Isle of Man. It's going to be a 1.5 hour race, around 90 minutes, maybe a little bit, a few minutes longer, but don't expect, it's not going to be like 3-hour races we've done before. However, the 2 races combined would be 3 hours, so that's why it's 1.5 hours. Points are going to be like 47 points for the winner, 41 points for second, 39 points for third, 37 points for fourth, and so on and so forth. And that's for both races. So we're gonna have 2 winners at the Isle of Man. Let's also focus a little bit on the previous race at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. It was once again a crazy race, especially that last lap. It was a 25 car of Aiden Shepard who was in the lead, with the 31 car of Joshua Scully in second position, and eventually in third position it was the 87 car of Skylar Fleming. And well, those 3 have been battling a lot in that race up until the final lap. Then it was tragedy for the number 25 car. Aiden Shepard crashed off track, flipped over. He continued racing though, So then you say, well, Joshua Scully will win this race because he is in second. No, he also crashed at the same point, flipped over and retired from the race. And eventually it was the lucky third driver, Skylar Fleming, who won the race. So absolutely craziness once again. I don't know if we've ever seen that crazy of a finish, but we've had 2 races so far this season and both have been absolutely crazy. So with some crazy turn of events. So we'll see how this race will be, if it will be the same for this race. Also, something I will have to come back to is that in the previous race, during the race, I said that Imran Rakota or Rimanana was going to have a penalty for causing 3 crashes, 2 at Le Mans and 1 at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. However, later that penalty, while editing the video, that penalty got dismissed. The reason for that is because I have to be consistent with handing out warnings and therefore also penalties. And what I kind of forgot with the Nürburgring Nordschleife race is that the first race at Le Mans, I only gave warnings to drivers which caused a crash, which had like tragic consequences for one or more drivers. So either where one or more drivers retire from the race, or if it's like a multi-car crash. So I did not give warnings for drivers that turn around or spun around another driver when that driver just lost a few seconds and then continued again. I did not hand out any warnings because I thought, well, this is a little bit ridiculous for this type of racing. So I forgot that, to be honest, at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and the third warning would be for Imran Rakota or Rimanana would be for the spinning around the 17 car of Sebastian Torres, but it was only a spin, and Sebastian Torres later on will continue without too much problems. So that's why that penalty got dismissed, because the final warning was not given to the 33. And it's the same thing for many other drivers. Eventually only the 13 car of Tommy Tang has a warning got a warning in the previous race, and will keep that warning for this race. So that was because he crashed around the 69 car, Amy Shelley, and Amy Shelley after that crash retired. So that's when we are going to hand out penalties. So we'll see if that will happen this race. Don't worry too much about it. So we got a wildcard car, and the 70 car for the first time this season is going to be picked by one of you guys and not by me. It is the driver from Sweden, Marcus Sochi, who's going to be driving the number 70 car. It's a teammate from Jay Jefferson. He's racing the Dascar KLM series, and as said, he's a Swedish driver. So he's not running in race number 1. He will be in race number 2 because wildcard race number 2. The drivers that are in this race are the drivers that are in odd, like in odd position in point standings, and in the even positions in point standings are drivers that are in race number 2. So also including the 70 car of Marcus Sochi. Point standings will go through pretty quickly. Once again, all I do now, I will not do in the next race, so in race number 2. So in race number 2 I will also refer back to the introduction of this video. So point standings currently, we got Jay Jefferson in the 54 car. He is only 3 points ahead of Zachary Robinson, and once again Zachary Robinson is in the race number 2 and Jay Jefferson is in race number 1. Priya McShane is in this race. She's 13 points and actually tied with Joshua Scully in the number 31 car, who's in race number 2. Aiden Shepard is 15 points, just 5 points in front of Jacques Robinson in the 94 car. Then we got James Saunders in the 47th, and Denise Steiner in the 77 car in 8th position. Imran Rakota Arimanana is currently in 9th, and Debbie Myers in 10th position. We'll go through the starting grid and then we'll get this race started. So I know a lot of things have happened in the past 2 weeks, but I've been away for 2 weeks, and the only thing I've really been following on the internet is like the airline news, the local news, and some PewDiePie and Jacksepticeye videos. That's all I've been following, and the rest is just Facebook. Well, maybe once or twice in a few days or something. I don't know, but pretty much all the other things I haven't really been focusing. Racing I haven't been following at all. The only thing I knew is that Esa-Pekka Lappi won the WRC race at Finland. That's all I knew. So anyways, we're going to go quickly through the starting grid, and then we'll get this race started. So we got currently the... Who's on pole? Actually, I don't even know what's the inside line, but I assume that the 44 car of Mitch Bretz is going to be in second, and I think Joseph Nesson 62 car is your pole sitter, so doesn't really matter too much. We got Patrick Smith in the 30 car on the second row, together with the 12 car of Mohammed Al Mohammed. Then we got the 40 car of James Saunders, who's starting right next to the 18 car of Hilary Sanchez. We got the 9 of Annie Thomas and the 4 car of Primoz Shane in row number 4. Then we got the 01 of Tommy Turbo right next to the 36 car of Ben Theravine. We got the 22 car of Brandon Thomas starting next to the 54 car of Jay Jefferson, your points leader. We got Jane Pinter in number 27 car starting right next to the 43 car of Philip Goldberg. And in row 8 it's Tommy Tang in the 13 car right next to Imun Rakota or Rumanana in the 33 car. Then we got row number 9 Amy Shelley starting right next to Aiden Shepard, and row number 10 is Samet Askan right next to Brian Fox. And last but not least we got Chris Dodd in the number 3 car starting on the 11th row and being the 21st starter of this race. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get this first race over at the Isle of Man started. If you don't know this racetrack, it is quite similar to... It's like you would take the Nürburgring Nordschleife and then transplace it in Great Britain. And I probably should do this again. Oh, why is it not working? Hang on. Okay, great. Finally, we got it to work. I had to press drive and all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit lower. So it's pretty much, as I was telling, this racetrack is sort of like you take the Nordschleife and you place it on the English country roads. It's seriously just a street course. It's really crazy with narrow twists and turns. It's a long track, and lap lasts for around 7.5 minutes. That's what we have, 12 laps, which will be eventually equal 90 minutes approximately. We got pit stops coming up as well, and I think you will like the looks of this racetrack. I think it's an awesome looking racetrack, so I just hope that the race is going to be pretty good. So ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Nestor in the 62 car I think is your pole sitter, and he's starting right next to the 44 car of Mitch Bretz. Soon the pace car will go off, I don't know when. When you see this racetrack, you already think, oh god, this is going to be this is going to be crazy. It's going to be a great race, I hope. Joseph Ernesto, the 62 car. Are we there yet? Yes, we are. Ladies and gentlemen, coming out of the last turn, we got 21 cars, race number 1 over at the Isle of Man. For the first time ever, we've been to this racetrack. Martini Endurance Series season number 3 continues. Twisty, twisty, twisty. Good grief, this racetrack is crazy. It's going to be a great race, and actually I gotta say this racetrack is very, very similar to what it looks like in real life, so and that's what I really like. So the creator of this racetrack has done a phenomenal job in making this racetrack for a NASCAR race in 2003, but of course, there's one thing, having a beautiful racetrack, but having a good race on a beautiful racetrack is a second thing, and we'll see how that will play out. Looking at the back, we already have a few cars on pit lane, and that's Imran Rakota Rumanana who's on pit road, and a crash for her and Joseph Nessa is your leader. So, sorry, I have to switch around a few cameras. Once again, we'll just continue like we always do, instant replays, all that kind of stuff. No pausing, no cautions, and pretty much rules we've had before. Damn, wrong button. We got a battle for second now. Mitch Brett is under full attack from Mohammed Al Mohammed in the number 12 car. These drivers know that there are fewer cars in this race, and instead of passing one driver and gaining 1 point, then you gain 2 points if you pass one driver. So, but the most important thing is to stay on track, and it's definitely easier said than done on this crazy twisty racetrack. It's very easy to make a mistake and to ruin your race, go into the wall, and pretty much we've seen already Imran Rakota Manana in pit lane. And John C. Dino really likes that Imran Rakota Manana causes those controversial moments. For instance, of course, Imran already caused a crash or almost had a penalty at the Nordschleife, and he said, well, I really like that he's doing those controversial things just because I have to pronounce that name every time again, and especially struggle with pronouncing it. So, but I will be fine. I will try to make it work. There's Chris Dodd. No, there's Chris Dodd. Okay, so I thought for a moment he was also gone, but that's the weird thing. It's like this, for this racetrack you have to or TV1 camera works for half the track, and the TV2 camera works for the second part of the track. But I mean, this is a moment where we have to switch to camera 2, so that is a little bit annoying, but oh well, we'll survive it. So Joseph and Nesto is starting to run away a little bit together with Mitch Bratz and Mohammed Al Mohammed. So top 3 is loose a little bit. We got now Priya McShane in 4th position with the number 36 car of Benoit Terravine in 5th. 6th position is the 01 car of Tommy Turbo in front of the 43 of Philip Goldberg. Brandon Thomas, James Pinter, and James Saunders is your top 10. So a lot of close. A couple of cars are still very close together, and we're going to see over here a pass. 39 car of Samad Askan will go by, tries to go by the 30 car, still side by side. This is a corner where I crash every single time I race myself on this racetrack. But we got 2x2 over here, and Samad Askan manages to go by the number 30 car, and probably 25 cars trying to follow as well. So, oh, watch out, Samad Askan. So, yeah, finally cleared. So, this proves that passing at this racetrack is possible, and I like that. That's already a plus part of this race. Whoa! Oh, and Chris Dodd goes on his roof, and that's a big one for Chris Dodd and Brian Fox. And we caught it live. Big crash for the 3 and the 19 car, and we also saw the 9, the 18 on pit lane. So there are already a few drivers who have gone off somewhere. I thought we saw somebody else in strife right before the 3 car crash indeed, and that is Jay Jefferson, your points leader. Your points leader smoking after having a crash, and the 3 car has gone backwards quite rapidly now. It's already falling back to, oh, watch out, Tommy Tang. So already this racetrack has claimed a few victims, and I'm pretty sure that these drivers will not be the last drivers to retire from this race following a crash. So Joseph and Nesto now coming onto the more country part of the racetrack. I mean, like, the first few parts are more or less like running through villages and mountains, and now you get like the typical English countryside where these guys run over. The country lanes Ed Sheeran is talking about, running with 19 miles per hour. Well, I gotta say, those bridges are when I've been to Great Britain, England especially, a few times, and those Brits do drive crazy. Nothing compared to the Italians, and in Sicily, I'm serious, those drivers are really nuts. But English drivers also drive pretty fast on these country lanes. So, but I gotta say, they do keep it safe. We only had one incident once where somebody ran a little bit too fast and just clipped the mirror of our car. No big deal, but running in Sicily is really, really, really crazy. It's like Russia, but then not with necessarily stupid drive, but with, well, crazy maniac drivers. No offense to the Sicilians, but, well, driving lessons, I don't know. To be honest, we got a battle for second position heating up. Mitch Bretz is battling hard with Mohammed Al-Mohammed, while Joseph Ernesto is starting to run away a little bit. So the 62 car, well, hasn't, I'm wondering, yeah, Joseph Ernesto, I don't think he really had a pretty good season so far. He did great at the Nordschleife where he finished in 9th position, but the other race was pretty far behind, 29th. So far not really a fantastic season for Joseph Ernesto. I mean, like, Joseph Ernesto, this mod is sort of like, I still associate the Redline GTP mod with him because he started the TomTom International Touring Series, his first Dascar series, and up until now I think his only Dascar series. He started it off with this mod. This mod used to be his, and eventually after the TomTom International Touring Series didn't really continue, I decided to take over the mod because he put so much effort in painting these cars. And well, one thing, this is a perfect mod for road course racing like this, and secondly, these cars are just so beautiful, and it's a waste if they would not if they wouldn't be used anymore. So first lap is complete, and we have lost, I don't know how many drivers, but 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers. I think we are now out of the race, so we're going to go and take a quick look at what happened over here. After that we'll continue live with the Isle of Man race, one over here at the Martini Endurance Series. So let's go quickly to some replays. So pretty much the race already ended very early for Imran Rakota Arumana, and that's a bloody shame for the driver who's 9th in points. It was turn number one of this long track, and it's already over for Imran Rakota Arumana. My goodness, John. Anyway, let's take a look at what happened over here, because pretty much it was the 33 car who did it all by himself. He went a little bit wide coming out of turn number 1, and he just clipped the bush or fence over there. And that turned the 33 car around, and ooh, that's big damage for the 33 and the 25 car. Look at those cars just flying around. That's pretty crazy. And the 3 car and the 9 car had to, well, slow down and stop. Eventually, I think Ian Shepherd and Tommy Tang will be fine though. Well, the 13 car did take quite a lot of damage. 39 car also tries to go by Samet Askan. And here's Brian Fox and Chris Dodd are stopped. But they will be fine, and they will be able to go again. But first incidents of this lap, Imran Rakota Manana a little bit too wide coming out of, let's take a helicopter view, coming out of the first turn, and there you can see the bush is sticking out a little bit. Probably, yeah, that's pretty much what he hit. And then the 13 and 25 car tried to go by, and well, didn't really succeed too well. And that's game over. Imran Rakota Manana, the first driver to retire. But definitely not the last, because we saw sometime later also the number 9 car of Annie Thomas on pit lane with some sort of problem. I'm not sure where. Okay, this is where it happens, and I think, oh my goodness, good grief, we had a big one over here. And this is a very tricky turn. I mean, oh, actually, hang on. It didn't start off with the 19, it started off with the 18. Yeah, the 18 car. So, in the test races, this actually has happened to me as well. And it also happened in the test races I did. Actually, I'm not even sure. No, it was in a different position, but Hilary Sanchez started off with the 18 car. Remember at Le Mans, she flipped over. Remember at the Nordschleife, she flipped over. Remember at the Isle of Man, yeah, she flipped over. So a little bit too wide coming out of the turn, and it's yeah, it's a flip. Okay. Oh, and there Annie Thomas just comes flipping by. Oh, and the 54 car hits the 19 or the 18 car. And that is what caused the damage to the 54. So that's a big shame for Hillary Sanchez and Jay Jefferson and Annie Thomas. So once again, very twisty turn, and the 18 car just a little bit too wild, loses control of the car, slips, and will this count? Yeah, that does count as a flip. So it's not like a full flip. I think the 18 car has had worse flips, but still, it's like 3 out of 3 for Hillary Sanchez. And that's a shame. That's a big shame. So, well, she'll be kind of known for flipping over after this season. So I hope for her that she will be able to at least finish one race, because she hasn't done that yet this season. And that's why also she is 29th in points. It's not even too bad. Can you imagine? So then we got the number 9 car of Annie Thomas. A similar situation. A little bit too wild coming through this turn, but a much bigger flip for her. Flipping over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And also landing on the, actually on the side of the track. Close to the bushes. So, big crash for Annie Thomas. Following Hillary Sanchez. I'm not sure if it was because of Hillary Sanchez or just the same mistake happening to the 9 car, but sometimes you see when some driver crashes, everybody behind her just loses control and, well, manages to get the same crash happen. So let's go on board with Annie Thomas, and this turn might be full throttle. No, it's not. I tried it. It didn't work out as well. So, well, wide decision. Unfortunately, still not enough speed lost by the 9 and the 18 car. And unfortunately, also the 54 car ran into trouble, and Jay Jefferson's race probably going to be over as well. That will be the next retirement. Now, Chris Dodd. We saw what happened to him live, and it was another big one. So, we, by the way, have now 15 flips this season. 2 flips this race with the 18 and the 9, and the 3 car will be following as well soon. I don't know what happened over here. He just clipped the inside and just shot to the outside of the track. A very strange crash, and look at that car just go over. And unfortunately, Brian Fox, just nowhere to go, just gets wiped out in this deal. Bang, straight into some wall or something over there. That's a shame for Chris Dodd and Brian Fox. I mean, it was a big one. It was really a big one for Chris Dodd. Oh, wow. Ooh, and that's a hard one. Luckily, these drivers are sitting in the middle of the car, not drivers, so not really necessarily a driver side hit for any of them. So, what a big crash for Chris Dodd. Oh boy. And Brian Fox, unfortunately, the innocent bystander in this. And I gotta wonder, did the 13 car also get a piece of this? I want to check it quickly before we go. Yeah, he does get a small tap from the 19 car, but luckily not as bad to turn him out to race. He just, barely clips the wall, but I don't think he really clipped it. So, no harm, no foul, luckily for Tommy Tank. So, your leader is Joseph Nesto in number 62 car, and look at all the corners already. After 1 lap, means we got many laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, 11 more laps to go, with a lot of craziness still to come. So let's go live once again. And so we are back again. Joseph Nesto is still your leader, and with a little bigger margin now over second place, Mitch Brett, thank you. But Mitch Brett is very much being haunted by the number 12 car, Mohammed Al-Mohammed. So I think it's going to be a pretty great battle for second position if these drivers can manage to stay on track, and that's the most important thing. So racing definitely not over for either of these two. Still a lot is going to be happening this race. 4th position Priya McShane, and 5th position is Benoit Theravine, doing a great job in the 4 and the 36 car. Especially Priya McShane doing great in points, considering Jay Jefferson already has had issues, Aiden Shepard already has had issues, and Imre Rakoto Manan has already had issues. So, of course, The question if she will be in the points lead will only be answered after race number 2, because Zachary Robinson is in the next race. So that will be determined after race number 2, and therefore we will not do a point standing situation update after race number 1, but only after race number 2. So the 01 car, Tommy Tang is in 6th, with in 7th now Philip Goldberg. Brennan Thomas in 8th with the sole Thomas remaining. Jane Pinter in 9th, and in 10th we got Amy Shelley. So some more great battles over here. How many cars do we have on track? 15. We got 15 cars on track and everybody else is out. Well, pretty logical, as we got 21 cars on in the race who started the race and 6 cars out. So was there a little smoke over there? I don't know. Not just a house. So this is what I meant with, well, those villages these drivers go to go through, and pretty much the English countryside is also like this. You go from village to country road to another village to country road to another village to country road, and actually it's the same thing sort of like in Sicily. In the Netherlands, not necessarily. It's like many, especially in the area I live in, many of those villages are sort of like glued together. So the village I live in is pretty much laying against Lisse, where is also the Keukenhof is. I think you may know that. So, and pretty much Lisse is already connected via the Engel and Terbeek to Sassenheim, which is connected to Voorhout, which is connected to Oegstgeest, which is connected to and so on, until you reach Leiden, and eventually also connected to Wassenaar, Voorschoten, De Heek. And pretty much that's how it's over here in the Randstad. And those kind of things, you may have it in Great Britain as well, in England, but not nearly as, well, as closely inhabited as the Netherlands is. I mean, like, the Netherlands is one of the most crowdedly populated countries in the world, with an average of 400 people living per square kilometer, and that's really a lot. And if you go, for instance, to Germany, there are many more open spaces and just, well, country, not necessarily country lanes, but highways without that many villages you go through. I'm not sure about Belgium either, and I'm honestly also not really sure about the Great Britain, but the places I know is like, there are some big cities, of course, obviously London. Last year I went to Newcastle. Was it last year? No, 2 years ago I went to Newcastle, and those are pretty big cities. But when you just exit the village or the city, you enter these kind of country lanes where you don't see a lot of houses. Well, maybe a few houses, but not really like those big villages. So let's see if everything is still like we expected. No, it's not, because the 30 car is on pit lane as well, and we're gonna do instant replays now. So let's see what happened to the number 30 car of, oh no, oh man, such a shame. Patrick Smith, he ran a little bit too wide on this turn already. Ouch. And then the next turn, maybe he has something broken. He just also loses control, hits the fence, and it's game over for Patrick Smith, unfortunately, as well. So that's a shame. Another retirement now. So let's go to our leader again. Battle for second still is heating up though, and we're gonna do an onboard lap also pretty soon. I really want to go onboard with like Priya McShane, and we're gonna do that probably next lap as well. And why Priya McShane? Because she is really fast. She has closed the gap to second and third, and you can really see that. Of course, Joseph Nesto, he cannot really, he is running away, but not necessarily like he's running with seconds per lap away. He's still inside of the 44 of Mitch Bratz, but well, nothing like compared to the gap between the 44 and the 12 car, and also the 4 car has now joined the party. So these guys are really close together. So it's cool. We're gonna go onboard with Priya McShane the next lap, and officially the 54 car has now retired. Jay Jepson with a valve problem. The others are still in pit lane, but don't expect him to come off of pit lane anymore. So a move made over here by the 12 car of Mohammed Al Mohammed, but it doesn't really work out well. So not yet. Are we going to do an onboard lap in race number 2, you ask me? Maybe. Depends on how the race is, but I think so. Of course, I do have to keep in mind that the things I do in this race, sort of it might be a little bit unfair if I don't do them in race number 2, so that's why probably I'm going to do an onboard lap in that race as well. So anyway, here we go. The Isle of Man, I present you over in Great Britain, and let's turn down the volume a little bit. Onboard with Priya McShane through these country lanes just close to the house. I mean, like running with 160, 170 miles per hour through those villages. That is crazy. And the most crazy thing is those motorcyclists also do the same thing with 200 miles per hour. And then it's not crazy that sometimes a driver makes a mistake and passes away. Unfortunately, this happened twice this year as well. One of them was a Dutch motorcyclist. So I gotta say a lot of respect to those motorcyclists that they have the guts to do this. I mean, you cannot have more respect for those drivers. It's crazy. And I also don't really know names for these turns. I don't even know if these turns have names. It's such a unique racetrack, the Isle of Man. It's compared to, we also tested Dundrod, which is a racetrack in Ireland. But that racetrack didn't really work out the way I like, because there's one part where drivers just crash into something invisible, and I don't want to have that happen. So of course a lot of drivers crash out due to, well, slip sliding into the fence, okay, but I don't want to have them just crash out because they hit nothing. And that's why we didn't go to Dundrod, and we did go to the Isle of Man, even though we had to like split the race, the event in 2 races. But this is going through the hills, and I'm not sure how you call it, like the lower part of beneath the 2 hills. And it's also a very twisty section with a left, right, a left to right, and we got another left, and we got another right, and there's a house, we got another left over here. And now we come into another left, and then a right and left, and you have to really slow down to first gear. These guys stay in second gear, but I always do in the first. But now we enter for the first time in like the real country roads. This is one of those iconic spots where you can really run full throttle, at least I can, up until this point where you really have to lift, otherwise you will go off right here, either on the inside or the outside. And then this part you think, well, I may go full throttle, and that's also what Imre Rakota Rimanana did, and Priya McShane is off. Together with the 12 car, the 2 drivers have gone off, and we saw it live when we went on board. We saw the 12 car of Mohammed Al Mohammed make a mistake, go wide, and, well, screw up, I guess. So we're gonna go, oh, somebody ran into the back of the 4 car, and that's Jane Pinter. This is a spot where all the other drivers, well, like the 18 and the 9 car flipped over. Jane Pinter is stuck behind Priya McShane, who's smoking heavily and whose race is probably going to be over. Man, we've never had this happen before. But Jane Pinter is pretty frustrated. You see the damage on the number 4 of Priya McShane. That's a shame. That's a real big shame for the 4 of Priya McShane, who was doing such a great job, and especially the 12 car of Mohammed Al Mohammed as well. Like the biggest threat for Mitch Bresson will probably be pretty happy with this deal. But goodness gracious. Well, let's go have a quick look at what happened over here. Probably have to go to camera 2 now. Okay, so the crash happened when we were at camera 1. So Mohammed, after the fast section, I said that you had to brake over here. And, well, unfortunately he just lost control of his car. Slams into the wall, and Priya McShane, well, nothing she could do about this, just tries to go by, but fails, and eventually both will go into the fence. Premium exchange race is over. Al Mohammed might be able to continue. The 36 car of Benoit Therapy managed to go on to 3rd position then, with the 01 car going on to 4th. Maybe Al Mohammed might be able to, well, stay in 4th position. Okay, fair enough. So let's go on to the helicopter view over here. So just a little bit too wide. And this is a spot where we've seen drivers go off in test races as well. So that's a real big shame. So that's really a big shame. I mean, like, we were busy with an onboard lap. Okay. Now let's go onboard again with Premium Shane. Is Jane Pinter still behind her? No. Oh, there's Tommy Turbo. Let's go to Jane Pinter then. Now, I don't know. Well, we've missed like half the lap already now with those replays. Of course, it's not like I haven't thought about that before we went to the replays, but you have to make decisions sometimes, and onboard replays were more important. So we'll just stick with Jane Pinter for the moment now. Through a very tight-hander 2nd gear still. Okay, I didn't take it first, but anyways. This is a section where I think the 30 car of Patrick Smith went off, and sometime it might be possible that actually the 3 car and the 19 car also went off somewhere around here. There's also a very tricky section at one point over here where there's suddenly a wall and a very tight corner. So now it's like an uphill climb for Jane Pinter, and soon we will enter those country lanes. Here we go, the country lanes I've been talking about, where we've seen just those very high speeds. And there are videos online of where motorcyclists also go off on these kind of parts. I think that turn actually might be one of those, or this turn might actually be one of those turns where some motorcyclists have gone off. Hey, that's a pass for Jane Pinter. Ooh, close battle with Amy Shelley. Cleared. So look at the speed. 164 miles per hour, and we know that Jane Pinter, not sure if he has a little bit of damage, but at least he has been held up quite badly by the number 4 car of Premium Exchange. So the 27 car of Jane Pinter, and through just by the mounts, and this is heavy braking again pretty soon. Okay, there we go. Just those twisty country lanes, and it's just a beautiful race. I really like this race, and if both races turn out fine, that race is definitely going to be on the calendar for Martini Endurance Series Season number 5, if we're going to do another season. And about my future, I will talk in a few moments as well after these onboard laps, because I have some ideas, I have some plans, and there are going to be a few changes. Not necessarily with the series I am currently doing. There will be also a few changes, and the main thing I'm probably going to be changing is adding thumbnails to my videos, and it's not like the thumbnails we have now where you just see a part of the race. It's just YouTube selects a part of the video and just puts it as a thumbnail. But I'm going to make thumbnails manually with like the logo of the series, name of the track, and all that, just to make it a little bit more simple but a little bit more coherent as well. So we have exited now the country lanes, and we go into the tight village turns again, and we get some left, right, blah, blah, blah. And now we are back on the front stretch again, and Jane Pinter does come in pit lane. Do you want to see an onboard pit stop? Okay, let's go on onboard pit stop. What is that? Is that a person? I don't know. But Jane Pinter makes a pit stop, and he's not the only one, I'm pretty sure of that. So I'm actually not sure if he has any damage. No, I don't think so. So it's just, I don't know if it's a regular pit stop either. So it's a very tight pit stop. I had to add, I think, 1 or 2 pit stops to be able to make it happen, to make this race happen. But eventually it's no real big problem. So I'm going to go to our leader again, and indeed the 62 car of Joseph Nestor has been called by Mitch Brett. So the pressure from the back of Mitch Brett has been relieved after the crash from Mohammed Al Mohammed and Prix McShane. Now Mitch Brett is free to go hunting on that 62 car, and damn, he really wants to have that victory. I know that absolutely for sure. So a little bit of update as well. The 3 car of Chris Dodd is out to race officially with the 19 car of Brian Fox. So bad break for those drivers. Will finish that last. 33 car is still not officially out, with 2 laps down. Probably will not be able to continue anyways. Maybe he will. Oh, somebody came in smoking, and I think it was the 4 car indeed. So, the 54 car is also on pit lane. Not sure if that is planned or not. Keep an eye out on that number 43 car, and actually I don't. I'm going to rewind because I think this is a crash for the 43 car. Yeah, it's definitely an incident for Philip Goldberg, and he was stuck behind. Oh, did he do the same thing as Patrick Smith? He might have done the same thing as Patrick Smith. No, he did not hit the wall there, but oh, he did get put in the wall hard over there by the 22 car. And was that, oh, and then gets hit hard by the 69 car of Amy Shelley. And that's game over for the 43 car, maybe for the 69 car as well. And that is why Jane Pinter managed to get by the 69 car so easily. My goodness, a hard crash for Philip Goldberg. Now, are we going to put the blame on this 22 car? Maybe. Not sure if there was contact prior to this, but 22 car definitely put the 43 of Philip Goldberg into the wall. Dascar will definitely be taking a look at this. So, big incident for Philip Goldberg, and maybe the hit with the 22 car wasn't even the hardest, but nowhere to go for the 69 car of Amy Shelley, and bang, straight into the left side of the already badly damaged 43 car, and especially the left side was already badly damaged, so hard hit for the 96 and the 43. Now Amy Shelley is able to continue, so that's good news for the 93 car. Now let's go to our leader, and we're second. Okay, come on, thank you. So the 62 car has now opened up a gap, a little bit of a gap again on the 44 car. So let's continue my stories. The 54 car is okay. So now the 33 car is officially out of the race, just like Jay Jefferson he already was. Annie Thomas and Hilary Sanchez already out officially as well. Patrick Smith officially has retired. The 43 car not yet. Watch out, Joseph Nestor. This is the trouble spot where we've seen 2 cars going off already on 2 different laps. So that's one of those trouble spots. We have to keep an eye on, and which might claim some more victims in this race as well. So Prix McShane also out of the race officially now. So I think we have 12 cars still in the race. We have 12 cars, I think, still in the race. So I will first finish off my story. So I will be making thumbnails. Will be pretty simple, and the reason I will do that is just to, as said, to bring a little bit more coherency to my videos, just so it is easier for you guys to spot the video, and I don't know, it just gives me a little bit more organized. It just looks a little bit more professional and organized, so that's why I want to do it. And I've seen many series do it, actually most of the series already do it, and I don't know why I haven't done it before, so I think it's about time to do it. So it will be pretty simple thumbnail, so nothing too crazy. I will not make a brand new thumbnail every single race, but I will just I will not change like a background, make a screenshot of every single race and then edit that background. I will just have a like a white or blue or red background for every single series, with the series logo, with the Dascar logo maybe as well, and just the name of the racetrack or the race. And I will change the name every race, but I will not change like the background and the logo every single race. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Maybe I will change my mind sometime later, but we'll see. Also something I'm being planning on doing, and it's just nothing really concerning the race I'm doing. Of course, whenever the summer series are going to be gone, I will be only doing the Philips Cup series, and I'll continue doing that for at least this season. And maybe the chances of me doing another season, a season number 10 Philips Cup series, are going to be, are actually getting bigger and bigger, because I will have to do my internship, but that will be in the first half year, and probably when I'm done with Philips Cup series season number 9, I will already be done with my internship as well. So we'll see how things will play out, but also I am thinking about doing some other stuff, not necessarily more NR 2003 related, as we got the leaves coming on pit lane. So I'll pause my story for a moment. There's the 43 car, which is officially retired now, as well, officially now 12 drivers in the race. Leaders are on pit lane. Let's see who has the fastest pit stop. Joseph Ernesto is on pit lane. Mitch Bretz is on pit lane. And Benoit Theravine in third place is on pit lane. And Joseph Ernesto and Mitch Bretz are... Okay, so Joseph Ernesto comes up first. Mitch Bretz is up next. But he's going to lose a lot of time with this pit stop. And Samet Askan manages to go by a 36 car. So Samet Askan in the number 93 car manages to go by... What is this? Spectator cam, okay. Samet Askan manages to go by the 36 car of Benoit Theravine. So position changed, but there's one driver who hasn't pitted, and that's the 25 car of Aiden Shepard. So Aiden Shepard is now currently in second place, which is definitely not where he belongs. So he will probably have to make a pit stop either this coming lap or the lap after, but he can pull it up a lap longer than the rest, so that's good news for him. Just like the 22 car of Brandon Thomas. Maybe these guys had already pitted the lap before, so I'm not sure about them. Oh my goodness, are these guys on pit lane, or is it just... I think it's planned, but I'll focus on that later. So, continuing my story about my future, I'm planning on doing some more things, not necessarily with NR 2003, but also maybe with some other games. I'm actually thinking about doing those like gameplay videos where I just do some races or myself, or where I just do those kind of videos. Like I did a Destruction Arena race where just gameplay before made 2 videos about it, but just raced on Destruction Arena. Maybe I'm going to do it more often. Those type of videos, maybe I'm going to be doing like these road course videos where I'm just going to be racing around the most difficult road courses. And I don't know, figure 8 racing, super speedway racing, just racing myself, because I do miss it a little bit. But once again, I may not be just necessarily focusing on NR 2003. I may be looking at other games as well. Like I have IndyCar series game. I have like Need for Speed games. I'm not sure about that if I'm going to do those videos, but just gameplay videos or on different type of games. Maybe I'm going to do some Trackmania stuff as well. But the biggest change, which I'm still not certain about, but which I really want to do, is do some live streams. And I've been wanting to do live streams for pretty long time now. Just couldn't find a way to do it, because you have to install some software for it, and the software you have to use is usually not free. And I don't really feel like spending too much money on that software, unless like it's because of course I don't earn money with doing these races. So the reason I only may buy some software, although the software is really expensive, is if it's really going to be able to work. But I download some software for it, which is for free. So I haven't tested it out. I just created an account and downloaded the software. I may be trying to do, get one of those live streams started in the next few days. So just doing some testing, but I really want to do those live streams, have some more interaction with you guys, and not only you guys, but also just broadening my audience. And that's what I will try to accomplish, and that also includes just doing some more different types of videos, which I even goes further than just other games, also just having no gaming videos at all. And I've been wanting to do that now for a few years actually. And I don't know, maybe I'm going to do more of that as well, just random vlogs. As said already, I want to do a vlog about my vacation in Sicily, where I just talk about what we've done, show some videos, some pictures and that kind of stuff. But I may want to do that more, those types of videos more often. I may want to do some more like column sort of videos, like where I just express my opinion. Don't crash, Joseph. So but I'm not sure about that. I will just see. So Benoit Theravine hit the ball and almost hit it another time, but they're fine. So well, let me know what you think about that. And pretty much, I don't know. The reason I really want to do that is because, once again, I just want to have more fun and do more things. I want to be a little bit more active with just creating videos. And I think the main reason for that is because I've been watching a lot of PewDiePie videos lately, but also Jacksepticeye, and those two guys are just awesome guys. And of course they have so much success, and I know I'm never going to be as successful as those guys, and not because I don't want to. Of course, some people always say, for instance, Jacksepticeye himself as well, you can accomplish anything if you want to, but I know that I am not going to be willing to spend so much time on doing those videos and just daily uploading videos. It's not going to work out for me, because eventually I will get bored, and I have so much other things I do as well outside of YouTube. But I do want to make a little bit of a step more towards that, and just uploading more frequently, but also doing more different things. Not only doing like these races, and it's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong, I really like to do these races, but I do want to have some other things as well. And I've been uploading different things as well, like the plane spawning videos. And the only reason what I'm doubting about a little bit is because having an audience is one thing, but what I'm probably going to have when doing those kind of things is different audiences. Like, you're going to have an audience which really likes this racing, and those people maybe not interested in like plane spawning videos or other videos, and the audiences of plane spawning videos are not interested in these types of videos or other videos. And that's pretty much what I'm going to be struggling with, and I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to deal with that. Maybe I'm going to do maybe I'm going to make a different channel as well. Maybe not, I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do those live streams, I will definitely be doing it on this video, concerning the racing, and that's going to be on this channel. So I will see what I'll be able to do. But for now we'll just stick with this channel, and I will do some more different stuff concerning gameplay videos, and well, we'll see. I'm still busy with it, so you'll see it sometimes. So just thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. So let's now focus finally back on this race, because we have had some drama with the number 12 car, Mohammed Al Mohammed. He's one of them. And also the 13 car we saw on pit lane, so he's another driver which has had issues. So now of course my problem is how I'm going to put that in race number 2. I don't know. So I guess they crashed together. It's a shame. The 12 for Mohammed Al Mohammed and the 13 car of Tommy Tang crashed together at some point. Where? I don't know. I guess it's just, it's the same spot. Okay, so watch a complete replay of what happened to this 43 and the, well, what was it? I don't know. But anyways, the 22 car. So Mohammed Al Mohammed hit the fence and he's going to hit it again, and the 13 car of Tommy Tang is going to follow. Actually, they don't hit each other, but this is like the third time incident has happened on this lap, or in this spot. So we can pretty much crown this spot the trouble spot, and it will be crowned that way as well. So that's a shame. Just, we're not going to see that many cars on at the finish of this race, and I had already expected it. So one thing I'm really surprised with is that the 25 car is able to stay on track for so long. Aiden Shepard, of course, after his heartbreaker at the Nordschleifer, is really looking for redemption, and well, he has had some issues earlier on in the race where the 33 car spun and he was, well, got caught up in that deal. But he's fought his way to second place by pit stop strategy, I think. The question is, does he really have to pit? I'm expecting him to still have to come in pit lane, but I'm pretty sure that most of these guys still have to come in pit lane as well. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. So at least one thing is for sure: the battle for what I expect will be second position is really heating up again, and this is now the second time that Mitch Bratz in the 44 car is coming under pressure from somebody from behind him, and this time it is Samet Askan in the number 39 car, and again the 36 car of Benoit Theravine. So the battle for what will probably be second position is heating up once again. So then we got 6th position, the 22 car of Brendan Thomas. So again, warnings will be decided after this race, not during the race, but after the race. I will just, because I don't want to have something like what happened in previous race with somebody with me handing out a penalty and, well, eventually just dismissing the penalty again. I don't want to have that happen again. So I will look closely while editing the video at those incidents. So, but pretty sure the 22 car is going to get a warning, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see. 7th position Tommy Tang, 8th position Jane Pinter, 9th position is way behind as well, the 40 car of James Saunders, and in 10th we got the 69 car, and that's it. We only got 10 cars on pit lane or in the race, and the 33 car or the 13 car still on pit lane. The 12th car of Mohammed Al Mohammed is finally retired, so heartbreaker for John Cidadino's team, because that means now that both his drivers are out. That's a real big shame. So anyways, the 62 car of Joseph Nesto is still your leader, as he has been all race long, but pressure is coming from behind, and now the 25 car of Aiden Shepard is closing the gap to the 62 car. Now, about his pit stop. Oh, and Mitch Bratz has spun around. Mitch Bratz in the 44 car has spun around, hit the fence, or the bush, whatever it is. But I think he will be able to continue, so he has lost some positions. He's fallen back to, I think, 5th position. But, well, could have been worse. Look at what happened to him. Just clipping that fence on the inside, spinning around and barely touching the bush on the outside. So a little bit of damage to his car, but I think he will be able to. He'll be fine. Problem is he has lost 2 positions and a possible shot at this victory, even if there was already a shot. Because Joseph Nesto has really been caught now by the 25 car. Now the 25 car comes on pit lane and everybody managed to go by the 62 car. It will be Sam Aska now as your leader, who is currently in 3rd position, and in 4th we got now Mitch Bretz. No, Benoit Theravine. Mitch Bretz is currently in 5th, being hunted down by the 22 car of Brennan Thomas. And that's a challenge from the 22 car, but not a successful challenge yet. So, after half this race, we have half the cars left. Seems fair-ish, although that probably means that nobody's going to finish this race. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. It has happened, yes, I know, but after that I did change things. So, but don't be surprised if there's only going to be around 5 or 6 cars finishing the race. I mean, for heck's sake, it is the Isle of Man, the most treacherous racetrack in the world. Even more treacherous and dangerous than the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So it is a challenging racetrack, and these guys know that. They have accepted this challenge and they're making the most out of it. And especially these 4 leaders now. But this race is far from over, and you don't have to be ashamed if you go off at 1 point. For instance, the 44 of Mitch Bretz, but it's more like a victory if you finish this race. Even more of a victory than when you finish the Nordschleife race. Even though this race is only 1.5 hours long, so it's not the longest race, but still. Whoop, a little bit of slip and slide from the 25 car. But you could see Joseph Nesto has once again been caught. Now the last time he had been caught, he ran away from the, well, pretty much the rest of from the challenger once again. So we'll see if he will be able to do that. And one thing which will be helpful is if the 25 car comes in pit lane, but still Aiden Shepard continues running. And the 13 car still hasn't retired officially yet, so that means that still we have, well, challenge from the 13-9 car of Samet Askan. Was a little bit of a slip and slide from the 25 of Aiden Shepard, and is probably going to cost him 2nd place. Oh, close call. That's really close. Watch out, guys. Keep it together. And challenge is unsuccessful for Salman Askan, and he's going to lose 3rd position with it as well. Maybe not. These guys keep on running side by side. It's already difficult racetrack, and that's really crazy to do over here. But at least I gotta give hats off to these guys. They're trying everything they can to make, well, not only their race good, but this race good. So I'm happy with that. And so far I think it's been a pretty good race. I hope you guys like it as well. Of course, we've not been focusing that much on these guys, and Mitch Bretz I think has pitted indeed. So he's a little bit further behind now. But we skimmed through the field. Yeah, there's not, actually, on the other hand, there's not many more drivers left, and the gaps are pretty big. Looking at those gaps, top 4 is pretty close together. Then Brennan Thomas is 37.5 seconds behind. Mitch Bretz and Jane Pinter are more than 48 seconds behind. And the 01 car either has come on pit lane or has crashed out. And it might be the latter one. And I'm afraid it's just a bit stop. Okay. So probably Tommy Turbo will be able to continue again. Luckily, we'll be able to have then 10 cars still in the race. So Joseph Nesto still trying to hold off Aiden Shepard. There was a challenge coming from the 39 car, didn't work out. Then he got a challenge from the 36 car, and that also didn't work out. So still top 4, the same as it was when they crossed start finish line. Not one lap before, because Mitch Bretz, of course, has fallen back now to 7th position after his pit stop. So, but this race is not over yet, and we see Joseph Nesto in the lead. He still has to managed to get by this racetrack 5 times. Oh, and that's pretty difficult, and that's also... Oh no! Samet Oskan has gone off in big time, and he has collected Benoit Ravine. Just as I was saying, Joseph Nesta still has to survive this racetrack for a few times, and that also counts for everybody behind him. And Samet Oskan goes off big time. I mean, really big time. Pretty much the same thing, I think, as what happened to the 12th car of Mohammed Al Mohammed. Yeah, he just loses control of his car in that turn, except for he doesn't hit the left side wall, but the right side wall he hits. He goes up onto his roof, and again the driver right behind has nowhere to go. Benoit Ravine, nowhere to go, runs straight underneath the 39 car, goes into the fence as well, and we got flip number 17 of the season as a fact. Samet Oskan, Benoit Ravine, wow, how I really butchered that name. Benoit Ravine are out. And once again the Isle of Man struggles. That's a big one, and we're gonna go on board now. I want to go on board with with the 39 car, but actually I think I want to go on board with the 36 car more. So we're going to go on board with Benoit Ravine. And there you can see the 36 car just hitting a wall, and he's just trying to find a way by, but it doesn't work out, and ouch. And it's such a shame because they were really competitive and had a great run going, and well, there's one driver who's really happy with that, and that is Joseph Ernesto. He slowly but surely sees every single competitor right behind him crash out of the race. Started off with Mohammed Al Mohammed and Priya McShane, then Mitch Bretz, and now eventually also Samet Oskan and Benoit Ravine. So, ouch. Well, probably his 25 car will be next. No, you survived. Okay. Of course, still, I don't want to jinx Joseph Nesta, that's why I'm knocking on wood, but it's not over yet, all I'm saying. So now the 25 car will be in second position, but still I'm not sure about his strategy, so I'm expecting him to still come on pit lane sometime, at least before the end of the race. If the rest can make it home, if the rest cannot make it home, he for sure can also. Brennan Thomas has finally made it up to third position then. That's pretty incredible. And remember, Jane Pinter, he got held up earlier in the race by the number 4 of Priya McShane. Well, he's now managed to get himself in fourth position. However, Mitch Bretz is still there. He's far behind, but he is still there in fifth. And now we got in sixth, James Saunders. Seventh, surprise, Amy Shelley's still in a row, but seventh for her. And that's it. I don't know what's up with Tommy Turbo, to be honest. I don't know what happened to him. I also honestly don't really feel like going back and rewinding and see what happened, why he's on pit lane for so long. But I don't know if he's gone off some. On the other hand, I owe it to him, so I'm going to do that. But he just came on pit lane, and that's the strangest thing of all. He just comes on pit lane, and I think at one point he just hits the wall. Somewhere. But yeah, I feel like this is kind of useless, so we're missing some of the action. I think, well, maybe he hit the wall here or somewhere. Did he hit this inside wall? No. Did he hit this outside wall? No. Clueless. Thank you. I don't know. Tommy Turbo came on pit lane with some sort of issue or damage, and I have no clue where he sustained it. Oh wait, maybe he sustained it on pit lane itself. Did he come on pit lane and get run over? Like we've seen at the Nürburgring Nordschleife pretty much happen every single lap. Did he just come on pit lane and gets... Oh! Finally we got it! Okay. I do feel smart, pretty much smart now to be honest, but... No, sorry, Tommy Turbo. Eventually it was an unsafe release from the 22 car, and the 22 car of Brandon Thomas pushes the 01 car, and that eventually causes the 01 car to go out. And yes, the 22 car also has some issues with that. That's a shame for Tommy Turbo, and it's weird. I mean, like, at one point you would say, like, he will be able to continue. Oh, okay, so the 25 car of Ain Shepherd is now finally come on pit lane. That means that Joseph Nesto is now a lead of, like, 40 seconds over second place. 36 and a half seconds over Brandon Thomas, who's already pretty much ruined the race of 2 drivers. So, yeah, we didn't really give penalties for unsafe releases at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, but I'm not sure how Dascar is going to deal with that this race. So the reason we didn't do that at the Nürburgring Nordschleife is because, well, I don't know. It's just that was a very tight pit lane. So, but this one seems to be a little bit more broader. Yeah, it's tight as well. I know, but actually everybody has come on pit lane, and no, maybe the 44 car hasn't come on pit lane. So. There's also the 40 car coming on pit road, who's here, the pace car probably, and James Saunders on pit lane as well. And yeah, come on, this is our leader. So this race, pretty much, it was a good race up until pretty much everybody crashed out. And Joseph Vanessa, he has been strong all day long, we gotta give him that, but now all he has to do is keep his car on track and cruise home, take that victory, and then he will get a victory. And I don't recall him winning before in the Dascar Martini Endurance Series. His teammate did. I think Jackson Brown did. I'm not sure about Beth Sneeze. I don't know, but at least I know that Joseph Nesto hasn't won yet in this series. Okay, yeah, Joseph, please don't give me those heart attacks again. Please keep your car on track. Well, at least there's somebody who would be happy with at least a mishap from the 62, not necessarily like a crash and him retiring, but a mishap, and that is this guy, 22 car of Brendan Thomas. And Brendan Thomas is, yeah, he's fast. He was a full second faster the previous lap, but with the full second you're not going to close a gap of 36.5 seconds before the end of this race. So he needs the 62 car to have a little bit of damage and, well, for some reason slow down significantly, or have some big time loss, and then Brandon Thomas will be able to at least try something to win this race. Now probably Aiden Shepherd is hoping the same thing. Redemption for the 25 car after his crazy off at the Nürburgring Nordschleife with just 1 lap to go. However, where did he finished in second at the race. If he finishes in third this race and with a 16th place finish at Le Mans, he is going to do pretty good in the championship point standing. So I think, I'm not sure what Aiden Shepherd should do. I think he just has to mind his own P's and Q's, take home this podium finish, and just go to the next race at the Kyalami circuit for the championship, maybe a victory. I don't know, whatever. But also something which it just reminds me, if you want to have, that's something I haven't said in the introduction, and Pretty much like I always say every single race this season, the Wildcard car driven by Marcus Sochi in race number 2. If you want to have your driver, or okay, Aiden Shepard ran into the fence, and you shouldn't do that, Aiden. Oh, Joseph Ernesto! No, 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 no. Joseph Ernesto. All you had to do was bring home this car. And guess... yeah. Costly mistake in trouble spot. Hitting the fence there. Losing control over here. Joseph Ernesto throws away a victory. And that's game over. Joseph, I told you one thing. Bring that car home. Mind your P's and Q's. And it's once again for like the second race in a row that the leader crashes out. Joseph Ernesto is done for the day. And Brendan Thomas, who might even be looking at least one warning, is your leader. Well, give me those warnings, he says, but I'd rather have the victory as well, so if you're going to give me those warnings anyway, so. And of course, the other thing, if he does cause some kind of crash and he is found guilty and he has 3 warnings, he might still get a time penalty, and then the victory might be taken away from him. We've seen it happen before, that the winner of a race gets a time penalty and then loses the race, and that one driver was Debbie Myers at... where was it? Yeah, I don't even know where it was. But she got a penalty. I think it was south of Boston actually. She got a penalty in the Phillips Cup Series. Eventually managed to cross the start-finish line first, and she would have won the race if it wasn't for the penalty, and she fell back to 10th. Still wasn't that bad, but yeah, could happen as well to Brendan Thomas if he for some reason manages to crash out another driver and gets found guilty and 3 warnings and penalty. But on the other hand, the closest competitor is this 44 car. Now, hang on for a moment, because we got Mitch Bretz over in the 44 car. We know that the 22 car in the storyline has some damage. We know that the 44 car has some damage. The question is, who has the slowest car? And I don't know. It could be possible that we're gonna get a surprise winner with a big battle near the end of the race. We're gonna wait and see. One thing is for sure, Joseph Ernesto screwed up and his race unfortunately is over. I do feel bad for him, don't get me wrong. I really do feel bad for Joseph Ernesto, because it's now the second time. Yeah, we've seen it happen before, and it's always so bad when you see some driver dominate and pretty much everybody behind him is just crashing out, and he's doing everything he should do, but a costly mistake takes him out. Wow, we've seen this, I guess. Sorry about that. Yeah, I also want to get a new microphone still, so. Yeah, it's a real heartbreak for Joseph Ernesto as well. I do feel bad for him. Brendan Thomas looking for a victory. Now the biggest question is, what is the gap over Mitch Bretz? Question is, where is Mitch Bretz? There he is. I think it will be around 12 to 15 seconds. 15.5 seconds is the gap between first and second. Now, lap times, you ask me, 43.4 and 43.8. Okay, so Brendan Thomas is still running faster lap times. Now, who else we got over here? Is the Russia 25. Okay, so the 25 car hold. Oh, okay. James Pinter comes on pit lane for the second lap in a row. That's surprising. Is this planned? I don't know. I don't think this is a real plan, to be honest. So, also Aiden Shepard comes on pit road. So, for whatever reason, the 25 car we know. James Pinter, oh, he's going again. So, fair enough. How many cars do we have in the race? God damn it. We got over here your leader Brendan Thomas, second place Mitch Bretz, third place James Pinter, fourth place James Saunders, 5th place will be the 25 Aiden Shepard, and 6th place we got the 69 of Amy Shelley. I smell food. I'm really starting to get hungry now. Damn it. But anyway, Brandon Thomas, your leader, with just 3 more laps to go. How long will it be? How long does this say? Okay, so I'm around approximately a little bit more than around 25 minutes to go. Okay. So of course, to finish my story about the wildcard car, yes, I have so many stories which I cannot complete, and that's just actually that's a good thing, because it means that something is happening, and we always have exciting things happening in the Martini Endurance Series, and that's why I really like this series so much. And I wasn't really, to be honest, initially I was really looking forward to this race, but right before I started this race, and with all the problems I had with the test race, with that few cars finishing, and I was not really looking forward to doing this race, but I think still we've had a pretty good race, even though there's only 6 cars. Close call. Even though there are probably not more than 6 cars finishing, and the main reason for that is because we had action, and I like that. So I hope you guys like it as well. Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to have one of your drivers in the wildcard car for the next race at Kyalami, which will once again be a 3-hour race, you can. That's perfectly possible, unless you're Jay Jefferson, because for now Jay Jefferson is the only driver who has. He of course will have a wildcard car in this race, or at least this event, the next race. So he will not be able to sign up a wildcard car for at Kyalami. I'll come back on that later. But if you have, if you want to have one of another driver in the wildcard car, it doesn't matter if you have no drivers in the series already, if you have only 1 driver in the series already, or if you have 2 drivers in the series already. It doesn't matter. If you want to have your wildcard car, sign up below. It is first come, first serve. Check out the description to see if the wildcard car is still open. And of course, remember that you're still going to be competing with everybody in race number 2 as well. So if you are in race number 2 and want to have somebody in the wildcards as well, be aware that race number 1 will be uploaded first. Not sure if it really makes sense saying that in this now. So, but be aware that, well, it's still also race number 1 and race number 2, it will be combined. So, make sure you know that. So, what I further want to say, of course, for Jay Jefferson, he already has a driver. If nobody gets to pick a driver for the wild card, and I have to fill in my another driver, then Jay Jefferson, you will be allowed to sign up another driver for the wildcard car for the last race. Of course, we only have 2 more races after this, so it's either the next race. If somebody signs up for the wild car, then Jay Jefferson, you cannot sign up another driver anymore this season for the wild card. If nobody signs up for the wild card car for the next race, you will be able to sign up as well another driver for the last race. For instance, I don't know, if there's another Jefferson in the KLM series, whatever you like, or whoever you like. So, but that will all come. I will come back on that in the Kyalami race. So for now, focus will be on everybody who wants to have a wildcard driver, or a driver in the wildcard car at Kyalami. So the rules are still the same as in the previous race. So Brandon Thomas still your leader, but being hunted down by the number 44 car. Currently, officially, the 13 car of Tommy Tang has retired, the 36 of Benoit Terravine has retired, and the 39 of Samet Oskan has retired, and Joseph Nesto still is gone and probably will not be coming back either. We might see a battle for 3rd place near the end of this race between James Pinter and James Saunders. And Aiden Shepard is in 5th currently, and 6th we got 69 car, so that's the only drivers that are left. So yeah, it has been a crash fest. And yes, it could be possible that the next race is going to be a crash fest as well. Yes, it could be possible there are even fewer cars going to finish in that race. Yes, it could be possible that there are going to be more than 10 cars finishing that race. And that's the deal with this racetrack. And that's, on one hand, I really like that uncertainty where you don't know what's going to happen, if there are going to be many crashes or just very few crashes, if you don't know if there are going to be many passes or not. On the other hand, it's quite annoying because you cannot really plan a race to go like the way you want to. And it could be possible that it's going to be a very exciting race, but it could also be possible that it's going to be like a real snore fest. And I hate bringing you guys snore fest because I know that there are, if you want to have to sit for 1.5 hours looking at a very boring race, I don't like it either. And that's why I lost a little bit of interest in some other series, like real life series as well. For instance, the DTM, Deutsche Tourwagen Masters. I don't watch it anymore because those races are pretty boring overall. And there are a few very exciting races, but most of the races are pretty boring. And that brings me actually on a post that's... ooh! Hang on. Stop. Brendan Thomas comes in pit lane. This might be opportunity for Mitch Reds to still win this race. And I know how badly he wants to win this race. Will he pit? No, he will. Yeah, he will. Okay. Fair enough. Brendan Thomas pits. Mitch Reds pits. And that's Brendan Thomas going again. Now the question is, how much time did... Okay. 8:02. So pretty much including the pit stop, this is the gap between the 22 and the 44 stays the same. Okay. Anyways, doesn't matter. We're going to go focus on, well, stay with the 27 car for now. But somebody on YouTube, I'm not sure if I really should say, or somebody on Facebook I should say, I'm not really sure if I should say names. If I should say his real name as well. Jeffrey Fingai, I think was his racer name. I will stick with that for now, but he posted something on Facebook which is about the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series, and there's been a whole lot of complaints about the Monster Energy Cup Series this year, even more than previous years, and it has been going on for like many years. Just fans complaining that the racing is not fun, and I don't know, all different kind of complaints. And I think it will be fine, it will be good to express my opinion. And I'm doubting if I should do it now or if I should do it next race, or if I should do it both races. But the problem is, pretty much with NASCAR it's the same thing. And also the main thing, I mean, like he also applies with a lot of things. I mean, the racing itself is not really that interesting. It has to do, it could have, well, just has to do with, yeah, the racing, and not necessarily with the format of the race. I mean, like, the chase is fine, the stage racing is fine as well. I actually like the stage racing. I really do. I like the stage racing because it brings some more excitement in the race, in the middle of the race as well. And while you have some races being like a snorefest until the end of the race, like with 2 to go, some races, or most races this year, also have some sort of excitement right before the stages, and have like 3 really exciting moments. But the biggest problem I have currently with the Monster Energy Cup Series is, look at Philips Cup Series. We have 7 speedways. We have 5 super speedways, 5 road courses, 4 short tracks, and 4 dirt tracks. It might be possible that there are going to be, that's not entirely true, but some sort of, those numbers are sort of like correct. And as you notice, the amount, there are different types of racetrack, but every type of racetrack has sort of like the same amount of races as the other racetracks, except for the speedways, because there are more speedways. But all those different speedways are also very different from each other. For instance, Grand Detour is completely different from Michigan, is completely different from Rockingham, is completely different from Motegi. The point I want to make is, if you look at the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series, of the 36 races, or around, I think it was 15 of them, are all on 1.5 mile ovals. Those racetracks are all almost entirely the same. I mean, like, you have Kansas, no offense to those racetracks, but you have Kansas, you have Kentucky, you have Chicagoland, for instance, and there are some more of those 1.5 mile D-shaped ovals, and they are so similar. All those racetracks, Las Vegas as well, are pretty much similar. And what you get if you have a similar racetrack, you go have a similar race. And if the races are pretty much exciting or not exciting at all, pretty much the other races are not going to be too much different than those races. And that's the biggest problem I have with NASCAR. There's not enough diversity in the racetracks they go to. And there are some racetracks which I don't like and some racetracks which I do like. But overall, my favorite racetracks are the super speedways, yeah, obviously, because the best races are on there. And the road courses, and actually dirt tracks as well. Looking at the Monster Energy Cup Series, there are 4 races on super speedways, 2 races on road courses. That's 6 tracks. That's like 6 really exciting races. And 15 races on 1.5 mile ovals, of which half of them are not interesting at all. And you have some short tracks. I mean, like, sometimes those races are great, sometimes they're not at all. Especially New Hampshire Motor Speedway is really one of my least favorite racetracks, and usually those races are very boring. And the point I want to make is, if NASCAR would say, like, okay, we're gonna have some more different racetracks, we're gonna skip those, or some of those 1.5 mile ovals, especially just please get rid of that second race in a year. I mean, like, Michigan, one time a year, fine, but 2 times a year, and I understand the deal with the fans and stuff, but, well, if you don't get interesting races, you don't get any fans, and if you got one boring race in your first part of the year, the second race of the year might as well be boring as well. So the point I want to make is that just have more diversity, more different types of racetracks on the calendar. And yeah, I don't know, I just don't get why going to 2 times to a racetrack in a year. The only other series I know who does that is the DTM, who goes twice a year to Hockenheim. Because, but the point is, if you go multiple times to a racetrack in a year, the races tend to get not really, yeah, I don't know. I just think they should have more road courses, and they are sending more steps with adding the Charlotte Motor Speedway road course next year. But please, my goodness, look at the Xfinity series. How many road courses are there? There are like 4 road courses. They go to 3 or 4 road courses. They go to there. Look at Truck Series. More. I'm not sure how many road courses there are in the Truck Series, but please get more road courses. I mean, there are so many good road courses. Go to Mid-Ohio with the Monster Energy Cup Series. Go to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course, even though the IndyCar race was extremely boring. Go to those crazy road courses. Go to Canadian, or to how do you call it? Circuit of the Americas with the Monster Energy Cup Series. Please have more road course. Please have a dirt track as well, because every year Eldora is awesome in the Truck Series. I know that it might be difficult to host like a Monster Energy Cup Series at such a small racetrack, but there are some more dirt tracks which are a lot bigger. Springfield is 1 mile racetrack, I think. Syracuse is a 1 mile racetrack. I know that Philips or Monster Energy Cup Series races on those dirt tracks will be hell of exciting, and that's a shame. I think it would attract a lot more fans to this. What the hell was that? Some kind of idiot on a motorcycle just revving up. It scared the living shit out of me. Sorry. But please get more of those dirt tracks in NASCAR, not only in the Truck Series, but also in the Xfinity Series and also in the Monster Energy Cup Series, because the sport needs that. The sport really needs that. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm over exaggerating, but I'm wondering what you guys think of it. But I've seen so much complaints about NASCAR over the past few years, and I'm not sure if of course it comes from both sides. So it's also part of the fans just complaining about every single shit bit of NASCAR, but it also has something to do with NASCAR, and the races not really are exciting. At least I'm happy that NASCAR is trying to change stuff with the chase they added with the last year they had the caution clock. The overtime line is absolutely ridiculous this year. I really liked it much better when they just had green white checkers for 3 attempts, or maybe even better for just unlimited green white checkers. But I think the racing could be much better, and a big part of it is just the racetrack you go to. So yeah, that's my opinion. I'm pretty curious what you guys think of it as well. So anyways, has anything changed over? No, not really. The race has, well, oh, Tommy Turbo is racing again. Hooray! Tommy Turbo is racing again. We're gonna get 7 cars at the finish of this race, unless somebody crashes out. But yeah, I don't know. I think Brandon Thomas is looking very good over here in 22 car. Last year, Blaine Keys drove this number 22 discount tire Jack to victory at Kyalami after a crazy last few laps as well, where it was this guy, Mitch Brett, who first turned around. Who was it again? Damn, I forgot the names. Shoot. Sorry about it. I forgot your names, but first turned around the 50 car, who was leading. Bonley was the lap car, and then eventually turned around Joseph Nesto, who took over the lead and was the lap car. So taking out 2 leaders, pretty much not the most popular move from Mitch Brett, but oh well. But now he's running in 2nd position, and Brandon Thomas once again will be able to take the victory after Joseph Nesto once again crashed. So 2nd time now that the 62 car has crashed and the 22 car is going to take over the lead and probably the victory as well. But of course we're not there yet. We're not there. So big things. I'm really curious. Okay, so after this we have 1 more lap to go. So probably we're going to surpass the 90-minute mark, but I had expected that already a little bit. The problem is when you end, well, it's just like you can in 90 minutes you can complete 11.5 laps, but then you have to decide if you're going to have 11 laps or are you going to have 12 laps. And I prefer than 12 laps over 11. So Brandon Thomas in the 22 car. Yeah, that 1 lap might of course still be 1 lap too long, but we'll just have to wait and see. Looking at lap times, you asked me, oh well, no, why not? We have no much. Okay, first Calamity Corner. It's fun. Every single racetrack has like that 1 Calamity Corner. But the strength of a racetrack is if there are like multiple Calamity Corners. And yeah, it's the same thing for this track. There are multiple Calamity Corners, and that's also the same for the Nordschleife and the same for Le Mans. And that's the reason we got rid of Road America, because there was 1 Calamity Corner, and that's pretty much took out like almost everybody who crashed out. So that's why we didn't want to go there anymore. Kyalami, Willow Springs, same story. There are very many different spots where crashes happen on the racetrack, and it just makes the race also a little bit more unpredictable, and I like that. to a certain extent, of course. But the lap times, we got 45.0 and 53.2. I'm not sure what Mitch Brett had happened to him. Maybe he went off again. Maybe I don't think he went off again, but maybe he made a pit stop, or I don't know, whatever. But at least James Pinter is gaining on that number 44 car, but the gap is way too big to be able to make something happen. 50.0 and 51.8. So James Saunders is indeed close to James Pinter, but he's losing ground, and he's 5.5 seconds behind the 27, so probably he's not going to catch the 27 car anymore. Now we got the 25 car at 8:04.4, yeah. Just has to bring it home, Amy Shepherd. And the same story for Amy Shelley with the 59.5. Who's this? Tommy Turbo, yeah. Well, 9:019, okay. So, anyway, Brandon Thomas in the number 22 car. Annie Thomas, I don't think she has won in the series before, so it will be the first time that one of Daniel Foyle's drivers wins in the series. I think, I'm not sure, but looking at what these guys are in points. Brandon Thomas 31st in points. Yeah, victory very much welcome for championship chances, but of course, yeah, the problem is that Daniel Foyles already has 3 drivers in the Phillips Cup Series, so he's not going to get more drivers in the Phillips Cup Series. But it would be helpful if he gets at least one more driver to have a reserve spot for Phillips Cup Series season number 10. So that's where Brandon Thomas might make something happen. And just raising eyes of team owner Daniel Foyles also very helpful. Of course, Annie Thomas has been in part of the Daniel Foyles' team USA Racing for a long time. And now Brandon Thomas following in the footsteps of Annie Thomas as well. Helpful. Then we got Mitch Brett in the 44 car. Where is he in points? He is 33rd in points. So, yeah, he's also really much looking for a victory. And the fun thing is he's only 1 point behind Brandon Thomas. So, yeah, the gap will increase with 6 more points. But still, definitely good result needed by the number 44 of Mitch Brett. We got James Pinter in the number 27 car, and where is he in points? He is 17th, so that's pretty good. And therefore a good finish, a 3rd place finish, would be very helpful for him concerning championship. Now he doesn't have anything to gain concerning locked in position in the Phillips Cup Series, because he has it anyway, so he's just going for race victories, success, and possibly championship. So for championship, it will be a good race for him if he can manage to bring it home. And then we got the 40 car of James Saunders. Where is he in points? He is 7th in points. My goodness, this will be a great race for him, concerning in points especially. So, yeah, the only problem he has is that there's one driver who's still in front of him and who's still in the race, and that's this guy. Aiden Shepard is 5th in points, 9 points in front of James Saunders. He's going to lose only 2 points, so probably if they will surpass the 4 car of Free McShaney points and the 54 of Jay Jefferson probably as well. So it will be good points day for those drivers. Then we got the 69 car. Yeah, I mean, how many problems did Amy Shelley have this race? I don't know how many, but a lot of problems. But she's 19th in points, so that's fairly good. But she's going to finish in 6th place nonetheless, if she can manage to bring it home. And otherwise, she's going to finish in 6th place anyway. So, yeah, because Tommy Turbo will not be able to pass her anymore. So Tommy Turbo can stop anyways if he wants to, because he's still going to finish in 7th place nonetheless. So, but anyways, it will be a good day for Annie Thomas. And yeah, Tommy Turbo, at least he can bring it home. That's good news for him. And with him being... where is he in points? With him being 13th in points is definitely going to be helpful. So that's good news. Anyway, Brandon Thomas is going to be on the final, or is currently on the final lap. So he has to survive this lap for one more time, but that's easier said than done. I mean, we've said it before. We've seen the Nordschleife race, the previous race. Nothing is certain until these guys have crossed start finish line. And so far there's been a good race for Brandon Thomas, an aggressive race though, with already some issues he has caused for the drivers. But still I think he will be, well, will the victory be deserved? Yeah. I think if you manage to, if you can win this race, you deserve the victory. So Brandon Thomas in the number 22 car, he still has to survive some calamity corners, and Mitch Bretz has survived them as well. Now James Pinter is there in number 27. I think he has surpassed the first big calamity corner as well, and the 40 car as well. Actually, I'm not sure. I cannot really spot where they are on track, so I don't know. Yeah, I think they have. No, they have not. They have not. But so James Pinter and yeah, James Saunders and everybody behind there still has to survive the big calamity corner, which already saw a couple of drivers just crash out pretty badly right here. But of course there are more calamity corners, so it's a good thing James Pinter survived it. Now, how far is the 40 car behind? Yeah, he still loses ground on the number 27 car, but looking at the lap times between 22 and the 44, yeah. I mean, Brandon Thomas currently is still the fastest car on the racetrack, so it doesn't matter what he has, what kind of crashes he has caused, and he still will probably take home a few one or more warnings. But I know one thing for sure, and that is that he is going to, if he's going to win this race, he will be happy with that, no matter what. But he is not there, and we have the biggest calamity corner right here. Oh, he brushes the wall, and he saves his car. Good job by Brandon Thomas, who's probably going to bring the car home, because there's not really a lot of difficult parts coming after this, so good for him. But I'm pretty sure Mitch Bretz would have liked to see something different. Still waiting for that victory, and I'm not sure if he has won in the series before, but well, he was very motivated at the start of the season. He still is, and at least finally he has a good run going, so that's good for him. So everybody else has survived Calamity Corner-ish. At least they're not even there yet, but I mean the thing is, Tommy Turbo I think hasn't even crossed start finish line yet, so it could be possible that Brandon Thomas is going to meet that number 01 car before the race is over. I'm not sure. Wow, Brandon Thomas is more than 1 minute faster than Tommy Turbo though, per lap. So that's pretty big. No, he's not going to catch 01 anymore. But one thing is for sure, Brandon Thomas in the number 22 car has a solid gap over second place Mitch Bretz, and he just has to battle a few more kilometers in this race, and then he will be the first ever winner in Dascar at the Isle of Man. He has survived the most treacherous racetrack in the sport, and in what way he has done it. It was a difficult race. There's not a single driver on track who has not had any issues, and well, it's just a battle of the survival of the fittest. And this time is going to be the 22 car of Brandon Thomas, who's going to be almost into the wall there, and who's going to be the fittest, and who's going to take home this victory. A very important victory for his career, and maybe he's going to be a launcher of his career as well. He hasn't really, I'm not sure if he has raced before, if he has been in other series before, but well, the brother of Annie Thomas is going to make a little bit of a name for himself by winning over here at the Isle of Man. Just a few corners left for Brandon Thomas in the 22 car. 30 miles per hour. Yeah, I can tell you he's not running 30 miles per hour there. Well, corner after these he's running 50, so here we go, just a few more corners, and then it will be the 22 car of Brandon Thomas in the 22 car, which I've said now twice. Who will win this race? It will be a victory for Brennan Thomas, the first career victory, at least in the Martini Endurance Series. Brennan Thomas wins over here at the Isle of Man, the race number 1. And he will be followed by the 44 car of Mitch Bratz, who will be semi-satisfied with that, I think. I think he would have said, he would feel like a victory has gone away after him crashing into the wall, making those unplanned pit stops, because he could have easily won this race. But well, comes up short. Still, he should be satisfied with the second place. It is the 44 of Mitch Bratz who will finish in second. Pretty far behind still. Jane Pinter, number 27 car, who will be finishing in third in a couple of moments. Just has to survive a few more corners. And he will be, well, he will pull the upset and do a great job. I mean, he has already had so much issues also in this pit. I mean, I don't even know how many times he has pitted, but fortunately we cannot see any lap info. No, shame. Anyways, Jane Pinter in number 27 car. He has had a pretty decent season so far, I think. But it will be good for him. It will be good for him to get this another good finish. The top 3 finish for him will be Jane Pinter in number 27 car. Finally some good results. And there he goes, finishing in third position. Followed shortly by the 40 car of James Saunders, who has been all strong pretty much all season long, but just couldn't get, well, he has got some good results, but nothing compared to this, so good for him. And now next up will be the number 25 car of Aiden Shepard. Once again a good finish, but it could have been so much more for him. On the other hand, we knew that he had to make a pit stop. When he was running in second position right behind Joseph Nesta, we knew that he had to pit sooner or later, so it was only a matter of time. But oh well. Aiden Shepard in the 25 car. Just a few corners for him to battle, and we're not going to wait for the rest for now. We're just going to show you the results after 25 car has finished, because this video, I think it will be long enough. And once again, the race number 2 will be uploaded as well very soon after this. It may not be like 1 minute after this, but a few hours after this as well. So if you are watching this race right after uploading, stay tuned, because race number 2 is coming up very shortly if it isn't up already. So wait for that. And we got the results. Not official, of course, yet, because still 2 cars have to finish. And the problem is we still have to wait for that. So this race is now 1 hour and 39 minutes plus talking, probably going to be 2 hours anyways. But it was a good race. I thought it was a pretty good race, and of course we still have to wait for how race number 2 will be. But if race number 2 will be somewhere similar like this, maybe this race track will be back next season as well, if there's going to be another Martini Endurance Series season. As Amy Shelley finishes in 6th position, now Tommy Turbo will be up next. So let you guys think. What? Let me know what you guys think of this race, and of course the next race will be as well. And we'll see if we can bring this race back again. Hopefully you guys are still there after 2 weeks. After being away for 2 weeks and not uploading videos for 2 weeks. Every time I go away for a while, it seems like people are just going to leave as well and not come back again. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll still get some. We get all the people that were watching. We still have to get them to watch these races as well. So at least I'm back, and that's a fun thing. And I'm pretty sure you will be happy with that as well. What are you going to see the next few days as well? Of course, apart from race number 2 of the Martini Endurance Series here at Isle of Man, you will also see the next race at the Valvoline Dirt Ring Series at at Springfield, and you'll see the Motegi races in the Phillips Cup Series. Not sure if both races are going to be uploaded this race or this week, or one race this week and one race next week. We'll see. Probably going to do in the Valvoline Dirt Ring Series and the Martini Endurance Series, one race every week now, because I will have 3 more weeks now before my internship starts again. So, well, you'll see still plenty of action from me, and of course, as announced, you will see some more different videos from me as well. Maybe some live streams, but definitely there will be. I will be trying to do some gameplay videos, doing Trackmania stuff, doing some NR 2003 stuff, doing some IndyCar stuff, some rally cross series stuff as well. I don't know, we'll see. I will have plenty of ideas, and vlogging might start doing that as well, giving you some updates, giving you some, well, maybe some discussion columns as well, some current issues in the world which I want to talk about, and we'll see. Now we're just waiting for Tommy Turbo to finish, and then after that I can conclude the race. So Joseph Nestor will be finishing in 8th after Tommy Turbo, and 9th will be Sound Askan, Benoit and Veen in 10th. Those 3 drivers will probably be very, very disappointed, but still, top 10. I don't know how they'll feel about it, but they probably will feel like they could have won this race, and they definitely could, all 3 of them. So when Tommy Turbo crosses the finish line, we have this race official, and Brandon Thomas will be officially the winner of race number 1 over here in series. And there we go. There is Brandon Thomas, your winner. For now, I want to thank you very much for watching. Don't want to spend too much time talking about it. Of course, the race number 2, at the conclusion of the video, you will see the point standings. So not now. So if you really want to see the point standings, you will have to wait for race number 2. Go to the end of the video, and if there are more interesting things I want to discuss, I will. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm also not sure if I'm going to discuss the things I discussed in this video and in that video. So maybe it's fun for you to watch the video anyways, even though your drivers are not in there. What you want, I will leave it up to you. For now, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon for race number 2 over here at the Isle of Man in the Dascar Martini Endurance Series, season number 4, 2017, here on Zero Sports.